In this video, we're going to look at infographics. Infographics are a mix of design, writing, and analysis that are ideal for the age of big data. Infographics are visually compelling communication medium that done well can communicate complex data in a visual format that is potentially viral. They take data and present it in a visual shorthand. Infographics is one efficient way of combining the best of text, images, and designs to represent complex data that tells a story that is perfect for sharing. So why use infographics? Infographics can be shared across multiple platforms. Pinterest is geared towards image curation and is one of the largest social media platforms on the web. In fact, there are 72.8 million monthly active users on the site, many of which might be interested in your business, but who are missing out because you're not feeding them the right kind of content. Instagram has even more active monthly users than Pinterest, over 300 million. Instagram is a particularly important platform to advertise on if your product is geared towards youth, since the majority of teenagers use it as their main means of social sharing. Facebook and Twitter posts that include viral content are shared up to 35% more frequently than posts without any image URL. Infographics make text-heavy articles more bearable and easier to understand. Humans have an average attention span of only 8 seconds in comparison to goldfish that have an average attention span of 12 seconds. In general, a 1,200-word article takes far more time to interpret than an image does. By including an infographic in your article, even if someone doesn't feel like scanning through your text-based content, you can at least ensure that they take in a portion of your visual content. Adding visual interruptions is an excellent way to further emphasize a specific point you're trying to make, but it also gives your readers' eyes a bit of a break. Infographics can help to increase search engine optimization. So if you're hoping to boost your website's keyword ranking on Google, infographics can certainly offer a helping hand. When you create an infographic, you can add alt text, a title, and a description that uses the keywords your business generally targets. If your infographic gets shared on other websites, blogs, and social media platforms, your chances of consistently seeing a boost in SEO is increased. If you send your infographic to other influencers who might make use of it and find it interesting, you increase your chances of gaining useful backlinks. Links and interactive elements can generate more traffic to your site. So adding links and interactive elements to an infographic, you can ensure that your infographic is not only functional, but also is a form of visual content. Canva is an online tool that allows users to choose from hundreds of professionally designed layouts or create their own designs from scratch for use in presentations, posters, infographics, social media, and much more. Canva is an excellent tool, but there's a lot more to infographic creation than just using a good tool. You still need to have some sense of design, a solid informational base, and a good grasp of your audience, among other things. First, you'll want to identify your audience. Every business and blog has a varied audience, unless you're a very small, very niche business. Chances are good then that you have a varied set of people browsing your site at any given moment. When you publish an infographic, it's going to attract different people in different ways. It might appeal more to men than women. It might appeal more to younger people than older people. The reason that you want to know your audience is so that you can tailor your infographic to the audience most likely to be receptive towards it. Some points to remember. You don't want to confuse your readers. An infographic works best when it makes complex information easier to understand. If your graphic itself is complex, it defeats the purpose. You don't want to make a mistake. The more complex a graphic is, the easier it is to miss something crucial or make an inept comparison that invalidates your authority. 3 main points to think about. The information that you're creating the infographic for needs to be something novel and something that isn't common knowledge. That's not to say that the information needs to be completely new. It just needs to be new to the people seeing your graphic. It needs to be interesting. The information needs to be worth learning or capturing attention. Pretty much no one is going to care about the breakdown of your fourth quarter expenses. They want to know more interesting information. The information you present needs to be accurate to the best possible degree of your knowledge. If your facts are untrustworthy, so is your graphic, and by extension, so are you. Always go out of your way to fact check and use authoritative sources. Maintain a clear design. Limit your use of color. Keep your graphics simple and easy to interpret. Maintain a logical flow. Keep your infographic under 5,000 pixels tall. Anything longer will bore the reader. The infographic on the left-hand side of the screen is an example of a good infographic. This infographic, 10 Core Principles of Entrepreneurship, includes plenty of useful advice. It's not overly cluttered. It's colourfully illustrated with a variety of images and formats that direct the reader's eyes from top to bottom. Whereas the infographic on the right-hand side of the screen is cluttered, confusing, and hard to read. It has a very busy background, which is making the information even more difficult to understand. So to create my infographic, I'm going to use Canva. So when you log in to Canva, you can just type in infographic, and you'll get a range of options for the type of infographic that you want to create. You can filter on color if you wish, or you can change those afterwards. If you would like to, you can create a blank infographic. Now I'm going to use one of the templates to create my infographic. So I'm going to create an infographic that's going to list the top 5 things to do in Kerry. I'm using the following template. It was under Education Infographics, and the template is the Climate Change Prevention template. Now I can change all of the elements. Each individual block, I can also change the colors. So I can click on the block, and if I want to, I can change the colors of the background. If I wanted to, I could change the color to purple, and I could also select change all if I wanted to change all of the green colors to purple. Now I'm just going to change it back to green because I think I prefer that color. And I can click into the text and I can update the text. So I've changed the text to say the top 5 things to do in Kerry. I can change the text. I can change the size of the text. I can change the color of the text. I can make it bold, italic, underline, etc. Now I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the details for my infographic. I've just zoomed into my infographic. I would like to change this icon, so I can delete that icon now. And I've just come down to the elements section in Canva, and I'm going to search for food. Now it's bringing me back a lot of free icons. If you see that little pro symbol under the icon, then don't use it, as you would have to pay for it. But I'm just going to take one of the free icons for food, and now I can resize it. So I can move around one of the resizing handles. Now I can also change the color if I want to of the icon, just to make it stand out a little bit more. And I can do that with each element of my infographic. So I have completed the design of my infographic, the top 5 things to do in Kerry, and I have created my list, so it's quite easy and digestible, very short snippets of information for my list. If I want to, I can zoom in and I can set that to fill. I've replaced the icons with some of the free icons. So it's actually very easy to create an infographic using Canva. Now that I've created that, I'm just going to download it. I can also change the name, and now I can download it. So it's suggesting a PDF print. You can see here, if I want to, I can also download it as a PNG file. So I'm just going to take it down as a PNG file, and I will click on download. The image has now downloaded, and I can save it to a folder. I can share it to my various social media platforms afterwards. And that's it.